I'm just waiting for, I apologize. I'm just, I tried four different ones to set up and I got, even on, what's the one I tried the other day? I got, Interactive Brokers and they told me I wasn't qualified to set up an account. And I've tried, um, RBC. They told me I had to come into their branch. Um, now I'm calling, Wealth Simple today. They told me to give them a call because I'm having issues with my, social insurance number. And, because they want a picture of my social insurance number and I physically don't have it here because I'm pretty sure it's in Canada or I lost it. So they told me to call them. So I got their phone numbers. They sent me an email. So they said they should be able to help me over the phone. So
Okay.
I'm,
Yeah, but that's good.
so yeah. So hopefully today or tomorrow that this all straightened out.
Yeah. And you know, Steve, a winner never stops.
I'm not stopping, man. I just kept talking to myself saying, you know what? This is all happening for a reason. So I'll get through it all. I'll just keep going.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you know what I appreciate? You're still showing up, you're learning, and
Yes.
and you see what we are doing here.
Yes. That's all I do. I just put that stuff to the side when I'm done with it, and then I just go online and I just keep trying to learn.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. You know, I followed a lot of programs,
yep.
and I don't know a single program where they're doing things like this.
Yeah, right.
I know some traders. I know some traders that do more or less the same. But you
Right.
know, then you say, okay, I'm trading, for example, the SPY. That is an index on the Nasdaq 500 or something like that, or the S&P
Okay.
500. And you know, then they make a trading plan half hour before opening of the stock market, and then they start looking
Okay. Yep.
looking, looking to the screen and looking to the screen, and then they're talking and chatting a little bit with each other, and then maybe after half an hour they say, "Now we're going to place an order." You know, and then they place an order,
Right.
waiting and waiting and waiting and sitting there, and then you know, and sometimes they win, sometimes they lose. You know, but what I don't like is I need to sit there for
Mm,
1.5, 2 hours at least
right.
to 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 make some profits, and then also one out of 2 or 3 trades are profitable. And of course, they also work with stop loss to get triggered out so
Yep.
that you do not lose too much money.
Yep.
You know, actually, here, whoever with this trading, whoever lost money, actually, no, whoever lost money with this trading technique, no, no, nobody's losing money. Maybe it's a little bit boring, so now and then, but I think it's a lot of fun to do it this way.
I lost money before doing this, but not since doing it. And that's the number one thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's part of learning. I had to go through that experience of losing a lot of money in 2022 to really get, or to try and find out, you know, to seek something better, because I wanted I thought, oh, I'm going to get rich. I've got, you know, Motley Fool, they're giving me these great shares. I bought them. They went up by 16%, kind of a bit like what we were talking about before. And then they went down and then down and then down some more. And I lost thousands and thousands of dollars because they told you that they had a set amount that they wanted. Some of their most expensive plans said, well, you need to have at least this amount of money to put in, and it was a large amount of money, and that said allocate this many $1,000 to this stock, this many to this stock, this many, because I thought, oh, I'm going to be part of the high rollers club here. I'm doing really well. And I was completely destroyed. And I had to go through that experience, I think, of actually physically feeling that pain of losing that money for me to get my shit together. Because without that, if it's just, you know, numbers on a screen and paper, but when it's actually your money and it's gone, that's when it really hurts. And that's when you really start to take action. And it's not just fun and games anymore. It hurts.
Yeah.
And when you're feeling that pain, that's when it prompts you to take action, to find something better.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely right. You know, and I've suffered the same pain in the past. You know, I did so many courses and trainings, and since I was 18 already, you know, because I thought it must be possible. It must be possible. And then, you know, the older you get, you thought, you know, I think it must be possible to do something between the tops. You know, that was actually the aha moment. And I said, it must be possible to do something from a bottom to a top, somewhere in between there. So, and that was the trigger for me to say, okay, let's wait till it is cheap. And when is it cheap? Cheap is cheap compared to a historic price. So then you have to wait. And then I said, you know what? Take simple numbers. -20, -30, -40. Not Fibonacci with the 0.63 and the 0.571 and the difficult. Keep it simple. Because then you start understanding it, and you start, because it should be a second nature, this investing. You know, I made a lot of cheat sheets, but after a while, and I think, Andrew, you agree with me, after a while, you do not need the cheat sheets anymore, because it's in your head, and you know where to go in and where to go out, and you know the Finviz numbers by heart. You know what to look at. You know what you can skip because it doesn't make sense. All those numbers, and you know, and the risky part is always that on social media, you do not see the difference between a trader and an investor. And all those people that talk about technical analysis, they are all traders. You know, and they are looking for short-term price action. And many people are here just to invest for the long term. And then they get bombarded with all that technical analysis stuff and get fully confused. And then you say, yeah, what should I do? Yeah, you know, I'm currently making ads for Facebook, and one of the ads is, are you an investor? Stop using technical analysis. It confuses you. It is wrong. It gives you buy and sell signals at the same time. It is, and you know, it takes you 5 to 7 years before you are more or less a little bit good with technical analysis. And then still, you need to figure out your own way of investing, because I did a training with an institute, and they taught me everything about technical analysis, really everything. And then I thought, okay, what now? So I understand all the signals. Yeah, now you should start with figuring it out, and then maybe after several years you found your own personal preference. What signals do you trade and which signals you ignore? And I said, yeah, which signals should I start? Yeah, you have the whole world of signals. So start somewhere. And then you can go into a community. And in that community, there are all beginners just like me. And they also all don't know. And you're sitting there and you think, yeah, what should I do? So, and that's why I said, you need a strategy, a proven strategy that works. And maybe it doesn't give you the returns that professional traders can make in a year. Maybe they make 100, 200, 300%. I don't care. We go for 15 to 25% per year with possible spikes up to 150. And, you know, for a beginner, that's enough. It's enough for a beginner to do 15%. And you know what's even more important? That's what Andrew also said. Don't lose your money. You know, if you use the PCA 1, 2, and 3 method, and you do it rigorously, you know, the chance that you lose money is pretty slim. Maybe you do everything wrong, but as long as you stick to the entry points as described in and as defined in the strategy rules, it's difficult to lose money. And also, what I also say is, do your asset allocation wisely. You know, don't go with $10,000 into Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, and then listen to traders and get totally confused. Yeah. So, hey Steve, but are you in crypto already? Were you able to open a crypto account?
Yes, I'm using Kraken because I was trying to use Coinbase, but Coinbase doesn't allow you to do anything when you're in Costa Rica. So I purchased a VPN to try to get past that. And I'm on my second VPN now. I had Bitdefender. They couldn't figure out why it wasn't working. Now I have Nord. And Nord, I've been on the online with for about a week and a half now, every day troubleshooting, because they don't understand why I can't get into Coinbase as well. So
I know why it is.
oh, do you? I should have just asked you from the start.
Yeah, because in Costa Rica there is
Yeah.
an access point.
There was,
And
sorry?
You're living in Costa Rica, am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. So in Costa Rica there is an access point, so you connect to the access point.
Right.
That access point has a VPN connection to an access point in the US. But
Okay.
although the IP address of the connection point in the US is in the US,
Right.
Coinbase knows that this IP address is connected to Costa Rica.
Oh, wow. Okay. So
So
there's no way around it really.
I think there's no way around it.
Because I've signed up for Nord. Nord is out of Panama, just next door to Costa Rica here. And they told me that they don't understand why this is happening. It shouldn't be happening. And they're giving me all these different ways to try to figure it out. Bitdefender just end up giving me back my money. And I think these guys are going to too soon, because it's been like 2 weeks now. We can't get on
There is a
Coinbase.
sort of a blacklist that they say, okay, these IP addresses,
Right.
although US or friendly country IP addresses,
I'm from Canada originally, right? So
or Canada, you know,
yeah,
they are just on the blacklist.
right.
A lot of sites have VPN detection as well. Like they will try very hard. I mean, it's not always possible, but sites like Coinbase and others as well can detect really whether you're using a VPN or not to an
Right.
extent, right? So, and they'll use I guess a large hammer to say, no, we're not accepting this. We're not accepting this connection. We're not accepting that connection, because it could be from a VPN. And if they have a policy against VPNs, because they can be used for all kinds of activity, especially like financial institutions in particular, they will try and detect a VPN, and as I said, use a large hammer, and they might get some innocent people in the same
Right.
suite. But if it's something that looks like a VPN to them, smells like a VPN, they'll be like, nope, this is a VPN, and
Right.
this person's probably up to no good, and we're going to block them.
Yes.
So that's, and each site is different, obviously, but the more ways people try and find methods around it,
Yeah.
like some people use VPNs to get extra shows on their Netflix.
Yeah.
And so Netflix have got a VPN detection now. Doesn't work all the time, but
Yeah.
sometimes it does. And when it does, they'll try and stop you. It's whack-a-mole, that
Yeah.
where you
Yes.
find something in that game in the arcade. Yeah.
Yes, I know. So if I set my Coinbase up when I was in Canada, so now I basically can't use it unless I'm back in Canada. That's probably it, right? Because I can't use it now. So when I get back to Canada, whenever I do decide to go back, I can use Coinbase if I decide to use Coinbase.
Can you buy a mobile phone in Canada with a mobile phone subscription?
I do. That's what I have here. I have my Canadian phone that I
Okay,
have.
and
Yeah.
then set up with a hotspot, a connection to the internet, and then I think you will get a Canadian IP address.
So then I could do everything off my phone.
Yeah.
No.
You'd have to set up roaming with your Canadian
I mean, it
phone
is a little bit more
provider.
expensive. I don't
Yeah.
know the prices.
Yeah, you'd only
It's
want
okay.
you wouldn't want to.
Well, yeah, no, I know what you're saying, but I'm using Kraken now and it's working fine. So that's okay, right? Like so
Kraken
far.
has a
So good.
lot of coins. It's a good
Yeah.
exchange. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Okay.
great.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm happy for that.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll stick with that.
Any other questions today? Else, I like to go over the market. Yeah, Mike. Okay, go ahead.
This is kind of related to what we're talking about, and something that I keep coming across occasionally, but where does everybody hold cash? And by that I mean, you don't want to keep a lot on an exchange, you don't want to keep a lot in a bank. Well, although that's where I have my money, most of it. And you know, these stable coins, I mean, they're pegged to different things, to commodities. Some of them are pegged to other cryptos. If you want to have liquid money, just in case you want to do, you know, either a crypto purchase or even a stock purchase, I think the stock markets, I know this is our crypto course, but the stock market exchanges, I think, are pretty safe. But where do people keep their money if you have any quantity? You know, to me, our banking system here in the U.S., it's built on this debt-based system, and you know, sooner or later, I think it feels like we're going to have another correction, an 08 like event. So what do you do with that, with money that you want to keep liquid?
With me, I keep money across several banks. So each bank's insured in Australia,
Right.
250,000. So
That's
depending
a
on how
lot.
much. Yeah, I think it's 250 or 200 in the US.
Yeah,
So
it's 250 that I know of.
yeah. Yeah. So long as you don't have any more than that in any one bank, like spread it out, then you know, depending on how much you got. But if you're at the point where I've got, you know, you got 10 banks because you've got you've got that much money that you've got to spread it across 10 banks to keep it, maybe that money should be going somewhere else, maybe real estate or
It's not a
yeah.
problem to have yet.
That is such a good question, and I'm so glad you asked it. So part of my job is I'm a CFO at a mortgage broker, and we are having issues with Chase Bank because we originate loans. So they are saying you're a competitor, you can't have bank accounts at Chase because they originate loans. And I've been hearing more and more about Chase. Like I was listening to someone that I buy gold and silver from, and they were saying that Chase will not allow their customers to wire them money to buy gold and silver. And even though they have accounts at Chase, because they don't want you diversifying outside of cash and money at Chase. So this is such an interesting conversation because I don't trust banks, and
Yeah.
it's really hard to know how much cash to have on hand, how much to leave it, because there's also, I had a lot of USDC at BlockFi at one point. That was great, making great interest for a while. And luckily I had this like intuitive feeling to pull the USDC out of BlockFi. So I didn't lose anything, but I just listened to my intuition to move that money out of there. And it was a hefty amount. And so I diversify between bank accounts, like Andrew said, different bank accounts. and real estate and obviously gold and silver, and then having, you know, a couple different exchanges, a couple different wallets. Like, I really diversify across the board. And I also believe in, I know this is like really crazy, but somebody said, you know, it's not just about um investing, you know, putting your money into different banks or assets, but also just having your home filled with food for 3 to 6 months and protection if you need protection,
Sure.
water, you know, like, well, I'm in Hurricane Florida, you know, so we have generators and stuff like that. And like, that's something I've been building assets in as well and putting money into. So like even diversifying there. So great topic. Thanks for bringing it up.
I've become more of a prepper than I ever thought I would.
Me too.
One of the things that I found with the first presidential debate was when they started talking about World War III, neither president said it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Neither didn't, and Trump didn't. So it's quite possible that it could happen in the next presidential term, in the next 4 years, because none of them said, "Oh no, that's not going to happen."
I can tell
Which
you
I
that more and more in the Netherlands, we see news topics. Today I saw a news topic. Yeah, the defense department of the government has difficulties with finding new locations to store ammunition and that kind of stuff. So people have to leave their on the open areas. Some people have to leave their house because it's too dangerous, and they need to build new facilities to produce and to store ammunition. Because yeah, we have electricity companies must make a plan so that they have additional spare equipment if there is an attack, that they can restore electricity delivery.
Like
This
an
kind of
EMF.
stuff we hear on the news.
Yeah.
Australia's moved from we had a deal with France to create just standard submarines for the military, and Australia broke that agreement and created a new agreement with the US to create nuclear submarines. And France was obviously annoyed, but something's definitely going on, you know, like something's definitely going on. So it's
for me, it's so clear. It is the military industrial complex, and war is a business model. You know, and it is sad, but it is what it is. And you know, Trump said, if I was president, I would have ended that war in Ukraine in a day. You know, between Zelensky and Putin. And I think he is able to do that. But why was this this violence against him last weekend? To get him out. I mean, why was Kennedy murdered? The week after he was murdered, he was planning to meet with Khrushchev about the missiles in Cuba. Yeah, why was Ronald Reagan also attacked? Yeah, he was able to tear the wall down. Yeah, tear down that wall in Berlin. So to make at least peace. Why can't we speak with Russia? I really, you know, guys, I cannot understand. We need to. I mean, Germany is able to produce wonderful cars, BMWs, Mercedes, Volkswagen. They should deliver to Russia. You know, Russia should be our customer. Big major country, and then Russia should deliver natural gas to us, because natural gas is very environmental friendly. Now what do? We blow the pipe, the Nord Stream pipe. Yeah, just to get Germany out of business, because as soon as the Eurasia continent start working together, US is an island, and that can never happen.
Andrew, do you think Bitcoin or a Bitcoin-like system would ever create enough of a decentralized monetary system that it could replace, one government having this much control like the US does?
I think the Bitcoin is the best protection for all this violence. And maybe I made a nice presentation. I even have a speech from yeah. I have a nice presentation about why you should have Bitcoin. So let's start with that, because else we get way too political, and this is all recorded. So,
Go
you know
for it.
what? I'll share my screen and share sound here. So up. Let's go from here. 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 Let me show you. Here. I had to talk about the Trump shooting incident. Why is Bitcoin rising at the moment? Because it went up after the incident. Trump and his party are pro-crypto. Biden actually isn't. Look at the SEC attacking all the time crypto, XRP, and all other kinds of crypto parties. After the shooting incident, Trump rose in the polls, indicating he might come out as winner of the US presidential election on November 5th. Yeah, the Republican Party promises that if they win, they will protect the right to mine Bitcoin. Yeah, they will ensure the right to self-custody. That's what we want, They will guarantee transaction freedom without governmental control. Yeah, they will end the unjust crackdown on crypto, and they will oppose the introduction of central bank digital currencies. It's literally what he said, and we are only a few inches away from a correction. Yeah, fortunately, Trump survived and is already back on stage at the Republican National Committee. So look here at this diagram. This was here at the moment of the shooting, and then it came out that he was safe, and it was okay. But now also this is also clickbait. What happened? I thought, let me see if I can make it a little bit more clear. It dropped 0.5%, and then it went up with 1.3%. So actually, what does it mean? Of course, the price reacted on this whole Trump history. But what you also see, Bitcoin was almost not impressed about it. A little bit, but not too much. So this means Bitcoin is just a safe haven for all these kind of shit, what's happening in the world. Yeah? So there are two guys, Gautam Shugani and Mahika Sapra. They are from analysts at Bernstein. They are Bernstein. Maybe Nicole, you know Bernstein, probably. Maybe not. No. Okay. It's a globally operating investment firm. They specialize in analyzing the cryptocurrency market and technologies impacting this sector. Their work involved studying trends, developments, forecasts within the crypto market, regularly providing insights and reports on the performance and outlook of cryptocurrencies and related industries, such as Bitcoin mining and AI data centers. Yeah, their analysts are frequently cited in financial and technological publications due to their expertise and influence in the sector. So after the shocking event this weekend, these two guys expect shares of public miners will follow Bitcoin. We saw HUD, HUD 8, the company, we saw it spike up, on Monday. Additional tailwind for miners, extensive pipeline of power access, so more power available. AI diversification opportunities, better mining technology in the US, recent analyst coverage Last week, Bernstein analysts began covering 2 additional miners with a hybrid Bitcoin mining and AI data center strategy. So two companies, CRRZ and Iron. If you're interested in investing in mining companies, follow the strategy, but these two could be interesting investments for us, just like Block, Hut 8, SDIG, not so much at the moment. They are a little bit, low, but I think when the bottom comes, they will also come up again. And then here, interesting, these guys predict by the end of 2025, $200,000 price for Bitcoin. By the end of 2029, $500,000. Look here, 4 years difference. Yeah, so after the 200,000, I think we will see a drop back to maybe 100,000, 80,000, or maybe 60,000. And then it will go up again. But first we need to go 3 years through crypto winter. And then 1 million by the end of 2033, which is exactly 4 years after 2029. So here again, we see the 4-year cycle. And also here, we will see a drop down after the 500,000. We will see a drop down maybe to 200,000, maybe to 180,000. But that means you have to hold your Bitcoin at least for another 8 to 10 years. So make up your mind. Do I want to be a long-term investor? And do I hold my crypto or my Bitcoin at least long-term? Keep in mind, it will take you another 8 to 10 years. Don't ask me what the value of the dollar will be by those by that time. Maybe the value of the dollar is decimated. So that means the purchasing power in $100 is maybe in $100,000 is maybe in 2033 $1 million. We don't know. But at least I thought, it is so interesting. Let's see. Here I have a nice, Ronald Reagan. What is he telling about inflation? And this guy, when did he live? In the 80s. He was president. I think we all remember him. I need to. So, I hope you can hear it.
Government has only 2 ways of getting money other than raising taxes. It can go into the money market and borrow, competing with its own citizens and driving up interest rates, which it has done, or it can print money, and it's done that. Both methods are inflationary. We're victims of language. The very word inflation leads us to think of it as just high prices. And then, of course, we resent the person who puts on the price tags, forgetting that he or she is also a victim of inflation. Inflation is not just high prices. It's a reduction in the value of our money. When the money supply is increased, but the goods and services available for buying are not, we have too much money chasing too few goods. Government has only 2 ways.
Yeah, this is what he's telling us. That is 40 years ago. And then the game was already ongoing. We are just, as citizens, we are just abused by our governments, by printing over and over and over again more money. And what it is what it is, accept it. But still, we need to protect ourselves. And I think Bitcoin was not invented in those days, but I think it's Bitcoin. If you want to protect your wealth, do it with Bitcoin. I'm not sure, Sophie, you were a little bit later, but I hope you have seen this Bitcoin price ranges, 200,000 in 2025, and maybe maybe it will be 150. Yeah, but I count more or less on 150 by end of 2025. 500,000, maybe it will be 350, maybe it will be 450 by 2029, and 1 million, maybe it will be 800,000, maybe 600, 700,000. I don't care. At least my value of my money is protected. So keep that in mind. You know, Andrew, I also read newsletters. And newsletters also fuel the emotion in the market. And this is a newsletter. I made a summary of a newsletter of Tika Tiwari. And that's a guy I admire a little bit. And from him, I learned all the crypto stuff. He was my mentor. He was my coach in 2018, 2019, when I started with crypto. You know, and he is, he went to Wall Street when he was 19 years old. You know, and he also had a newsletter, and he was kicked out by his publisher because he did wrong things. But still, this is a bad guy knowing what he's talking about, and I like it a little bit. You know, I like a little bit the black sheeps in the family. Bitcoin is a financial safeguard in times of chaos. That's what he's telling. And I just want to show you several newsletters now to see what they are telling. Yeah, look at the resilience shown by President Trump after an assassination attempt. It's about Bitcoin. Bitcoin's behavior during crisis, initially dropping, but then rallying. Yeah. Examples, COVID-19. We saw a huge drop, and watch. Bitcoin was up again. Here, US regional bank failures in March 2023. Yeah, we saw a drop, and it went up again. We see high volatility in markets, especially during election. Hey, volatility. We like volatility, you know, because we can go in at low prices and sell again at high prices. That's a different strategy as when you say, I want to buy and hold Bitcoin till 2033. That's absolutely different strategy. But if you say, I want to invest in the Andrew cash flow method, yeah, then you go in and out and in and out. And especially if you have a lot of money in Bitcoin, I would not recommend to do it with all your Bitcoin. No, do it with a portion of your Bitcoin. And maybe 50% you store forever, you know, for your children and your grandchildren. And you use the other half for your PCA strategies. That's what I would do, actually. And that's what I'm doing. Although I have no children, and the grandchildren probably will also not be there. Which I regret, by the way. Tiwari sees significant profit potential in crypto, and he advises embracing volatility as an opportunity to increase wealth. The only thing he's not telling is how to do that. That's what we learn here. And spending by governments and quantitative easing are inevitable, making Bitcoin bullish. And that is what I always forget his name here. What he's telling about.
Ronald Reagan.
Reagan, yeah. What Reagan is talking about. Yeah, that quantitative easing. You know, that's a difficult and expensive word for just printing money endlessly. That is quantitative easing. Okay. Now the newsletter, Crypto Investor Network. I received it, I think, yesterday. Current situation. Crypto market had a good week with signs of a potential strong recovery in the third quarter. We are talking all the time already. You know, we expect September, October, the prices will go up. You know, everybody is now in summer holidays. They are sitting on the camping, drinking beer. And, you know, I know it's winter in Australia, but maybe they're also having some fun. But there is not much to do. Bitcoin rose approximately 4% following a shorter than expected inflation report. Likelihood of a September interest rate cut has increased. So that means if interest goes down money will seek an opportunity to make more money than the current interest rate. And if interest is about 6 or 7%, you know, there's no reason to move your money somewhere else. But if we see interest rates go lower and lower, then people will start searching for alternatives to make more ROI on their money. Significant inflows into Bitcoin ETFs, totally 882 million for the week ending July 11. So that was a couple of days ago. And the CFTC, I think this is important. You know, you have the SEC and you have the CFTC. The CFTC in America, that is about commodities, and the SEC is about securities, say stocks. And the CFTC, it looks like that the CFTC is now winning from the SEC. You know, they are both governmental organizations for regulation of Bitcoin and Ethereum as commodities. So that commodity is oil, silver, gold, coffee, wheat, that kind of that are commodities. So, and if that would be true, then at least the discussion and all the lawsuits are over, because and that will attract more institutional investors, more companies that will be, have an idea that it is safe to work with crypto. Other cryptocurrencies, Ethereum we just spoke about. Binance Coin, Solana 3%, XRP went up 10%, Dogecoin 3%, Cardano 20%, Tron. You know, everything is going up at the moment. That doesn't mean that it will go down again. You know, we will see up to the top of $100,000, maybe $200,000. We will see drop downs of 20 to 30%. So guys, don't worry. But if you have some spare money, wait for the drops, you know, and just buy more for your long-term hold portfolio. Continued with the crypto investor network. Headwinds like Mt. Gox and Saxony liquidations expected to diminish early August. Also, Germany is now out of Bitcoin. Germany bought all the sold all the Bitcoins, and that also suppressed the price. So we also will see that Mt. Gox will probably, run out of Bitcoin. Not so sure there, but in the end, what we see is that the market can just absorb all that Bitcoin that were dumped on the market. And what happened? Bitcoin only went down with around 20-25% only. Yeah. So this could coincide with increased demand, potentially leading to a strong rally in the crypto market. You know, if the selling pressure is going away, then the price can only go up when the demand is higher. Now, also these guys tell you Bitcoin could rise to 100,000 in current headwinds if current headwinds dissipate and demand increases. So I think they mean here till the end of the year. So maybe before the end of the year, we will see a Bitcoin of $100,000. That doesn't mean that is the end of the bull run, but I also think it's a possibility. Then there is some technical analysis. I don't like to talk too much about technical analysis because it's too difficult. But Bitcoin appears to be approaching a turning point just below the 20-week moving average. If you really want to learn about a technical analysis and moving averages, let me know. And maybe next week we can go over some technical analysis if you want. You know, but for now, I would say, make up your mind, study the standard investment methods, the PCA 1, 2, and 3. Also understand that there is a DCA strategy. And for now, I think that's enough. For most of the people, it's enough. If you really want to go deeper, of course, I also look so now and then at the RSI and at the stochastic and at the MACD, but you know, but maybe in a later time we can go over that. So a breakthrough above 61,000 could signal a powerful rally. So let's see here. Can I do it this way? I think you, yeah. Here. Let's go to BTC USD here. Reset chart view. Here, what you see here, what did they say? A breakout above. This was on the 11th of June. So that is last weekend, or a little bit last Friday, I think. And what you see here, the 61 mark has already been passed here. The 61 here. And you also see it was with a big candle. So it's always when you see a breakthrough here, big candle up here. 1, 2, 3 days in a row up, because then you have a lot of also liquidity. If you look at the volume here, you see lots of volume here. By the way, this is technical analysis. Sorry, I will shut it off. But still, I think. But anyway, what we see here, we still see sideways movement here. Agree? This is the channel of Bitcoin. So, and this is also a little bit of technical analysis. But what we should see now is maybe a little bit, and maybe we see another going down, and maybe something like this. But if it will break here, this line, oh, escape, it will break this line here. I think we will see spike up immediately, yeah, probably above this one. But this is a hurdle here. This is an area that's difficult, and then, you know, then we come in new price territory, that how they called it, and the way up to 100,000 is yeah, in reach. And if you look at that in this way, you see from 60 to 100, it's not even such a distance. If you also see that from here, you know, that is, now let's say a year ago, July 23. Here, somewhere here, July, August. Yeah, it was 30,000. Now it's around 60. So up to 90 in maybe a year time is not weird at all. At least not for Bitcoin. So, okay. Updates about other coins, you know. Why do I write this down? I want to show you, because a lot of these coins we also mention here in this diagram here. A lot of these coins. I want to show you this because you see a lot of action, a lot of activity, a lot of teams working to make new applications, to build new applications. Chilis is a fan token. So a fan token means, for example, for a football club, FC Milan or Barcelona or that kind of stuff, and they do something with it. I'm not so sure what, but it sounds good. Polygon-matic, that's a level 2. Yeah, they released new version of the alpha testnet. PIT, that is the they are doing an introduction of private fees on Ondo. Propi, that is a coin related to real estate. And what you see, maybe you know the name Grant Cardone. Yeah, he put his 42 million house on their platform. Now we saw Render. We also have Render in our AI portfolio, automatic upgrades by major exchanges. So it's really adopted. In Solana, we see various developments, including new validator client and higher daily trading volumes. Stellar, first DeFi hub, surpassed 350,000 total value locked. And Tezos XTC developing just a new layer 2 roll up for JavaScript developers. So that means they are developing the environment for developers. No? And I'm not figuring this out myself. I just get this from newsletters and I assume this is correct. But what I like to show you is that there is a lot of movement, and a lot happening in the crypto world. Now, maybe you have seen this picture before. We've showed it also several times in the Good Morning Crypto show. You know, we saw here in 2012, you know, this was the bull run in 2012. 4 years later, the bull run in 2016. 4 years later, the bull run in 2022. 4 years later, now, do I need to tell more? You know, it will easily go to maybe 150, maybe 200,000. 350, I don't expect it will go that high, but at least I will expect a spike here. And guys, remember, after the spike, and it's what you don't see here, after the spike, it will come down. So be aware, we need to sell on the way up for those cryptos and those Bitcoins you like to trade with, because when it comes down, that you have money, that you have ammunition to buy again and to increase the amount you have. So make up your mind what you do. Then what I saw is and it's interesting. Who knows what is a DAO? A DAO. A DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization. This is an organization without a management. And how can it exist? That can exist because on the blockchain, then everything should be arranged. All decisions are made by all the crypto holders of that organization, and they are allowed to vote for specific developments or specific directions. So that's a DAO. So when a DAO does something that the government doesn't like, they cannot sue the CEO. There is no CEO, you know, and that will be the future. See a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization, as a vending machine. You know, that is also a decentralized autonomous organization. At the moment, the vending machine is there. Of course, you have an owner, but you just put in money, and your can of Coke will come out. You know, that's a very simplistic approach. But what I like the most here is that the UK Law Commission report finds existing legal frameworks sufficient for regulating DAOs, citing lack of consensus on DAO definition and diverse structures as challenges for specific regulation. So that means that in the UK, they understand DAOs. And if you compare that with what they do in the US, they don't even understand XRP, what they are doing, because they are suing, is it a commodity or is it a security? So, and I think that also in Europe, I'm not sure about Australia, Andrew, but the world is continuing. Also Asia, in Dubai, you know, we all have already regulation frameworks in place. So, and it doesn't mean that I say US is bad, but US is not at the front of the innovation at the moment. But still, the rest of the world is. So that means crypto gets more and more importance. So, stop share. I also had a nice presentation about taxes. Not the state taxes, but crypto taxes. So income tax and capital gains tax. And I made a presentation where I want to show you that it is for the governments very difficult for some crypto activities to make tax regulation. And I'll tell you one example, and maybe next week we'll go deeper into it. For example, if you do something and you get paid in crypto, you know, yeah, you need to pay taxes over the money you got paid. That is income tax. But now, for example, if you say, I do an airdrop, yeah, for example, you hold some Atom coins in a wallet, and all of a sudden you see new coins in your wallet. So you didn't work for it. It is not, you didn't do anything to get it. You didn't ask for it, and still you got it. So, do you know? Is it capital gain tax? No, also not, because you did not invest earlier in it, so that is tax free. And if your accountant doesn't understand this, he will let you pay tax over that. So I think there are a lot of accountants and bookkeepers have no clue what's happening in the crypto world. And so I have a whole nice presentation about it. And I think regulation will come. One thing, for example, if you get an airdrop, you get free coins for nothing. So, and if that would be taxable, then, for example, if you go to the grocery store and you get loyalty points are not taxable. So why would my airdrop be taxable? A loyalty point is also a sort of, airdrop. You see? So I think there is a lot of stuff going on, and also show you how they try to manage that. And in the end, there's no escape. They will figure it out. But I think I can give you some ammunition about taxes next week, and so that you can have the discussion with your CPA and say, okay, I don't want to pay tax for this. However, guys, for you, keep your shit together. Know what you're doing. Keep administration either on the exchange or at in a spreadsheet. What kind of transactions did you do? Because there are still capital gain taxes. You can also do some stuff to lower your capital gain tax, to take some losses just before the end of the year. But we will go over that next week. So, and I know the tax systems in Netherlands is different as in Belgium, is different as in Costa Rica, is different as in the US, is different, but still they understand two things: income tax and capital gain tax. And it's all around that. So that's just what Ronald Reagan said. You know, they can borrow money, they can print money, or they can tax the hell out of you. And that's what they do. But you know, there is an easy way to escape from tax. Make more money than they can tax you. Just make an awful lot of more money. And if they take half of it away, who cares? If you have enough, you have enough. And you can still live your life. Of course, it hurts if they take away half of it. But still, you know, make sure you make money and you make more money. And because that's your life, that's your freedom. That's what I experience every day. I don't need to work anymore because I make a lot of money. However, from my real estate, they are just grabbing my wallet and they're eating. Compared to last year, this year, they will tax me on my income 30% extra as last year. 30% extra. Yeah. What can I do? Nothing. Yeah, make more money. I will increase the rent of my tenants a little bit. So, guys, this is how you manage money. Love money, because if you love money, money will love you, and it will stay with you. So, guys, it was a pleasure. I'm always enjoying that you're here, because it makes me a lot of fun to talk to you and to give you some guidance. Yeah, if you have specific questions, always come up with it. And I also hope you enjoyed Andrew's presentation the other hour. It was great. Thank you, Andrew. And yeah, let's come up. By the way, how do you like the annoying questions? Should I do it more or less? I like to do it more.
Do it.
Yeah, you know, it makes you think. On the other hand, it makes you earlier aware of what you're doing. It makes you earlier a specialist, and maybe you will leave this call. But it is what it is. You know, you must be able to make 15 to 25% per year on your invested money. It's simple. And maybe not the first year, maybe not the second year, but after several years, or I would say after a year, it should already be possible if you do it. How long did it take, Andrew?
Yeah, probably 8 months to a year, I'd say, to get consistent profits. But you know, getting everything set up, you know, figuring things out. Couple of mistakes in the beginning, that you know, just from learning. But I still never lost money, and now I look at my trading journal, and I thought, you know, oh, this month's going to be a slow month. I'm only going to take profits maybe 4 times. It's going to be 9 times again this month. It was 9 times last month. It was 9 times the month before. It just keeps coming in. And I thought, oh, this month is going to be terrible. It's going to be slow. No, it's not. It just keeps coming in. So,
yeah.
If that's a bit of inspiration for anyone, yeah, it definitely works. Keep at it.
Great. Hey guys, I wish you a great week. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here, and keep on coming, because you see what happens as soon as you understand it. It adds up, all the stuff, and we go from there. Hey, ciao. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
so
You're welcome. Bye bye.